Hello friends, I'm Colin and welcome back to my channel. Y'all, the girls are really giving it to us lately, and what they're giving us are reruns. I don't know if you've heard, but I guess it's time to add another bullet point to the old Amberlynn cycle.
Just wanted, a professional's opinion on semaglutide and what, he thought of me getting it from a med spa, and he actually highly recommends that I do that. I'm actually about to call the med spa right now.
I like this one, it's even got its own theme song. In other news, Anna, aka Glitter and Lasers, discovered for the millionth time that she can't lose weight because of her lipedema.
It's the abnormal buildup of adipose tissue or fat in the legs and arms, and it's special because this fat is not burnable by the body, which means diet and exercise won't have any effect on it.
And Chantal is trying a new health remedy that really sucks.
And I'm doing a lemon mukbang.
I don't actually know if the lemon is a health remedy or not, but I feel like she's done something like that before. Like a grape and lemon fast? Something like that. I just wonder if that's what she's hinting at. I'll admit, I tend not to pay as much attention to foodie beauty because while Anna and Amberlynn irritate me, Chantal is bad for my blood pressure. I'm not ready to say I'll never talk about her, but she just stresses me out. That being said, there was a time where I said I'd never get to the Amberverse, and here we are. It's been obvious for years that Amberlynn and Chantal have gone through cycles with their weight and their mental health, and it's becoming clear to more and more people that Anna does as well. And I think they all have one common denominator. Weight loss is very simple, but very difficult. And the girls have it backwards. They think it's very complicated, but should be simple to solve. All you gotta do is take a shot, or load protein, or try an MLM starvation diet, right? And if you fail, or yo-yo, it's something ruined metabolism, or I'm a medical mystery.
I have done a lot of yo-yo dieting, which is not taken into account when you do the TDEE calculator.
The reason I preach calories in, calories out so much is because it is science, it is math. Obviously, every body is going to be a little different, but not that different. Every person who has ever lost weight has taken in fewer calories than they have expended. It's just that simple. The reason diets like keto or plant-based or whatever work is because they cut out food groups, which decreases your likelihood of overeating. Diets like Weight Watchers work because if you're eating more 0-point foods, you're decreasing your likelihood of overeating. Intermittent fasting works because you're cutting out the amount of time you can eat, which decreases your likelihood of overeating. It's all the same. It's calories in, calories out, whether you're actually counting the calories or not. That's also the reason why they don't always work. You can still overeat keto foods or 0-point foods. And also, those kinds of rules are really strict and hard for people to follow. I hate the phrase diets fail because it's placing the blame in the wrong direction. The diet didn't fail, you did. But also, some diets just cannot be followed. And if you try them, you're destined to fail. Look at all the different fad diets that Amberlynn and Chantal have tried.
Grape fast I've been wanting to do.
Okay, so I'm doing Weight Watchers. It comes with the Unimate and something called Slim. And Slim is a patented product from Unicity.
Today is my first day on Optavia. Welcome to day one of me being on Jenny Craig. Weight Watchers, 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 Weight Watchers.
None of those are sustainable. And that's kind of their business model. But then we look at someone like Glitter and Lasers and say, well, okay, she's not doing any kind of fad diet. Actually, the way she started out years ago did seem like a healthy, sustainable lifestyle change.
I'm going to be talking about my goals for 2022. For my healthy habits, I'm really focused on 3 areas: movement, self-care, eating, and mental health. Wow, those are just such fun words. I take 30 minutes out of my day for mindful movement. This means this is a time of my day I've set aside to be active. And this can be doing anything. It can be going for a walk in my neighborhood. It can be hiking. It can be playing a lot of Just Dance. Prior to this year, I pretty much ordered out every single meal. Like literally every single meal. I had no time and I was just eating whatever I could get fastest. And that was a lot of my problem. So I'm just trying to, again, make time to cook. And I've actually began to feel this like very cathartic feeling when I'm cooking because I know I'm taking care of myself.
So what's the problem? Well, like I said, weight loss is simple, but it's not easy. It hasn't been easy for me, and I don't even struggle with any kind of eating disorder like the girls do. I think I'm lucky because while I've spent more of my life overweight than a healthy weight, I didn't become obese until my mid-20s. And after I finally realized I could and should do something about it, I went to the science first. I never fell for any fad diet or cleanse. And I was just kind of ignorant with my food and exercise choices. I had unhealthy habits, but I didn't have an eating disorder. I do struggle with anxiety and depression, and I do emotionally eat sometimes. But those are all things that I've been able to manage. Actually, if anything, the weight loss and fitness have improved my mental health. And I think that's where the difference lies.
Part of the reason I am overweight is because of the drama in my life and because of the ways I coped with it. But in a lot of ways, my weight has protected me and helped me. And I know that if you've never been plus size, you'll not understand anything I'm saying, so I'm not expecting you to understand it. I'm expecting you to be shocked by that. But if you are, I hope that you can see that sometimes weight can provide a barrier, a boundary, a safety that maybe we don't realize. And I think for me, that has partly been what my weight has been.
I would never criticize someone just for their weight, but would I criticize their behavior? Yeah. It's so very clear that the girls have mental health problems that lend to their physical health problems.
You don't have OCD. You have obesity. Okay, thank you. I didn't know my psychiatrist was on here. Thank you.
You stop that. My editor is terrible. It's me. I'm the editor. But seriously, as hard as weight loss is without any kind of mental health issue, it's way, way harder with mental health issues. In my non-professional opinion, I kind of feel like super morbid obesity goes hand in hand with mental health problems. These people are usually eating to cope. But in order to solve that problem, you have to first admit you have the problem.
Do I have binge eating? What's really my food problems? And what can we do to help with that? So I do not binge. Therapist said so. I say so.
I think the question everybody wants to know is, what happened to the binge monster?
Yikes on bakes.
One of the biggest misconceptions I think people have about me is that like I eat all the time or something. I actually often have to remind myself to eat. I work all the time. I have a very busy and active lifestyle.
Amberlynn claims to have a food addiction and says she doesn't binge now. Whatever. I don't care what she wants to call it. Both things are problems that need therapy to fix. Someone get these girls to Dr. Paradise. And I know what some of you are thinking. Both Anna and Amberlynn have been on Ozempic, and may or may not be now. Look, we'll never have transparency here. They don't do windows in Girl World.
But look at all those windows. They must be cleaned every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks?
Well, there you are, George. You see, she doesn't do windows.
But you may be thinking, okay, well, isn't Ozempic the simple solution they've been looking for? Well, no. Much like weight loss surgery, there is a lot of hard work that goes with being on weight loss drugs, too. They're tools, not quick fixes. Ozempic will reduce your appetite, but you can still take in too many calories if you're not paying attention to what and why you're eating. If you're a food addict, emotional eater, binge eater, whatever, Ozempic isn't going to fix that. There's a reason people gain the weight back after they stop taking it. I think a lot of the problem we as a society have is we view morbid obesity as the problem, and it is definitely a problem, but more than that, it's a symptom of much larger problems. No pun intended. Amberlynn has started and stopped Ozempic before, and apparently she's starting again, although I'm not sure she realizes that's what she's taking.
Next question is, what's the update on you going back on Ozempic? So I definitely do want to go back on something like that. So there is semaglutide. I am interested in it. It's going to be cheaper than Ozempic.
Or maybe she's hoping we don't realize it and remember the infamous Ozempic-induced gallbladder sludge.
I have sludge in my gallbladder. So my doctor told me, okay, you need to stop taking Ozempic.
I think Amberlynn actually quit Ozempic last time because she missed food too much. Or rather, she missed having the coping mechanism. Even if she wasn't physically hungry, she was probably emotionally hungry. But if you don't have an appetite anymore, what then? Actually, as messy as Amberlynn and Chantal are, I feel like Anna is the one going to extremes lately. It seems she's leading up to having liposuction or something similar for her lipedema. But I'll be honest with you, she's got a major case of delulu if she thinks that the only fat she has left on her body is unburnable lipedema fat. Actually, the medical team she's seeing might be delulu too if they're the ones who told her that. I may not be a professional, but I have been doing some intensive research for my upcoming lipedema video, and well, we'll just leave it at that for now. I've got to leave you some breadcrumbs for interest, no? Oh wait, how do I do this? I've got a lot of things going on right now, and I don't want to talk about them yet, but I might talk about them in the future. It's just so personal. Anna says she's plateaued lately. She isn't losing any weight, and she started asking herself if she's not trying hard enough or if she's eating too much. And those things are absolutely correct. But why address the deeper emotional issues leading her to overeat when she could possibly pay thousands of dollars to undergo major surgery? I realize I'm getting kind of sassy, but just the thought of Anna doing this majorly risky thing that might be unnecessary just kind of makes my arm hair stand on end. It's like reading about people chopping off limbs with hand saws during the Civil War. Liposuction is one of the ways to manage lipedema, but generally you should try to lose as much non-lipedema fat as possible. And yes, that is something that's possible to do. Here, have another breadcrumb. And in Anna's case, most people with eyeballs can tell she does still have regular fat to lose. In her opinion, she's already got her diet and exercise on point, and anyone who suggests otherwise is just being fatphobic. However, if you go back through Anna's archive, she does admit that she is an emotional eater.
Because I realized that every time something good happened in my life, I would celebrate it with food. And every time something bad happened in my life, I would celebrate it with food. And every time I was stressed out, I would deal with it with food. Like it became this pattern of, oh, I feel an emotion. I will eat something not good for me. So it became this weird cycle where I couldn't separate my emotions from eating. And it's not that I particularly ate a ton of food, it's that I ate really bad food. Because all of the things that I would eat when I was like trying to tie to my emotions were foods that were what we would call celebratory foods. So things like cake, fried foods, stuff like that. So I wasn't ever able to like separate feeling something away from food. I'd lost that ability.
She insists it's not the amount she's eating, but what she's eating that's the problem. And I have to respectfully disagree. When I was in college, I dropped a ton of weight because I was walking like 10 to 15,000 steps a day at my job and walking across campus. And I was so busy that I didn't have time to eat for most of the day. So I would just eat one big meal at the end of the day. You know what I was eating most of the time? Wendy's and Chick-fil-A. Those were two of the only places I liked on campus, but rest assured I don't eat homophobic chicken anymore. I was the poster child for what Anna claims her problem was. It wasn't that I was eating too much. I was just eating the wrong things. Because you can lose weight, as I did, eating fast food. Calories in, calories out is a formula. I was just lucky that I was young and active, so my bad diet hadn't caught up with me yet. I have to wonder if, because she insists her issue is not the amount of food, but the types of food she was eating, now she's just eating the same amount of slightly healthier protein snacks.
This is my snack basket. And this is just some of my snacks. So one of the things I do that's kind of, because I am really obsessed with this, like snacking is really important to me.
I wonder if she just doesn't notice how much other people normally eat, or she really thinks that she's burning a crap load of calories in the gym, or if she just doesn't have anyone in her life who will be honest with her. I'm afraid even the doctors she's seeing for her lipedema won't be honest with her if she's seeing who I think she's seeing. Someone in the comments of my last Glitter and Lasers video told me that Karen Herbst is no longer seeing patients, but I do still think Anna is seeing someone associated with Dr. Herbst, and if she is, I haven't liked what I've seen. I'm feeling like Hansel and Gretel with all these breadcrumbs. We joke about the cycle a lot in this corner of the internet, and I get it. When you see them sign up for Weight Watchers, or do a cleanse, or start a new workout regimen for the millionth time, it's so frustrating and tiresome you just have to laugh. I think part of the reason we keep seeing the girls go through this cycle is because there's only one way to lose weight, and that's with a calorie deficit. So really what they're doing is just trying a million different ways to do a calorie deficit, and they keep expecting one of them is going to be easy, but it's never going to be easy, especially if they have so many mental health issues they haven't dealt with. So after they've tried every single method of calorie deficit they can think of, they kind of have to start over at letter A again because, again, that's the only way to do it. But that being said, this is like kicking any other kind of addiction or dependence. You can mess up a million times and all it takes is one success. I still have hope for them. Well, maybe not Chantal. I know none of the girls will probably ever see this, nor should they take advice from an internet rando, but I don't know, go to therapy sounds like pretty good advice for a lot of people. Sometimes therapists suck. That's fine, you're allowed to look around for one that works for you. That being said, you also want to look for a therapist who will challenge your unhealthy habits, and more importantly, offer differential diagnosis with evidence-based solutions. But again, I'm an internet rando, not a professional. Are y'all sick of hearing that disclaimer yet? Thank you all for sticking with me, and might I also recommend my Liver King video? I think a lot of people may have steered away from that video because the Liver King is a deeply off-putting person, but what I can offer you is the video about the Liver King with the least amount of actual footage of the man. It's just me critiquing his website. I could also call it Losing My Mind ASMR. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you so desire, and I'll see you next time.